Well, continuing coverage tonight, it has been just over a year since former Richland County Sheriff's Deputy Kyle Oliver threw this woman down by her hair. You probably remember we showed you this video when we got it at that time. In September, though, Sheriff Leon Lott held a news conference about that incident, vowing an internal investigation. And at that conference, he called out members of his own leadership team for not cross-referencing this body camera footage with what Oliver reported happened.
No, it should have been done, and
so that's an existing policy.
that's an existing policy. It should have been done, and I'll tell you, in this case, it wasn't done, and that's what I've got to address. Why it wasn't done? Was there a failure on supervisors to be a leader and a supervisor?
Well, the sheriff says mistakes were made. And tonight, our Chris Joseph is digging through department records, court documents, and state files related to this case. And our investigation finds the deputies who were in the room are gone, but their supervisors are still in positions of power.
I spoke with a deputy who was in the room when it happened. She says Oliver did nothing to warrant an arrest, and he was just using his training. She says the internal investigation by Sheriff Leon Lott punished her, but questioned why the supervisors remain.
2 defensive action reports were filed for the January 2020 incident. Kyle Oliver filed one, Casey Signorino filed the other. It's her body camera footage we see in the clip. I spoke with her in December, and this is how she described what happened at the Region 4 headquarters on Beatty Road.
I reached behind her to take another pair of handcuffs to handcuff her to the back of the bench. So I was behind her whenever I went to do that, and that's whenever she took her head and she threw it back and she headbutted me right on the side of my temple 3 times. That's whenever Oliver grabbed her by the head, which she was using as a weapon, and that's what we're trained to do, is control the weapon, whatever it is. If it's your hands, control the hands. If it's a gun, control the gun. This incident was her head. So he grabbed her by the head and put her down on the ground.
She says she didn't think the incident needed to be reported and that the supervisors went over the incident with her. A lawsuit filed by the suspect called it an assault, and Sheriff Leon Lott agreed. After an unnamed source outside the department reached out about the video, he called the September news conference.
That wasn't part of police training. That's not what we teach, not what we approve, and that's not what we're going to have happen.
He announced Oliver's firing and arrest that day. SC Criminal Justice Academy records show that a week later, the department fired Signorino for substandard work performance and rudeness. She didn't know about the records, so I showed her.
It's very discouraging because this is what I've worked for my whole life. And now, between what they put in my criminal justice, my academy file, and between what they're going to say to employers that call him, he's never going to allow me to get a job in law enforcement.
She admits she cursed at the suspect, but says the department didn't ask for her side of the story.
I was never given the opportunity to go and make an IA statement. Nobody had any idea what happened from my end.
The only other deputy named on scene was Jared Free. He resigned in July, and WIS was unable to contact him for this story. Department records show Corporal John Parker and Captain Michael Pearson are named in the defensive action reports as supervisors. They were responsible for reviewing the incident. Lott says they're still at the department.
We've looked at the big picture on a lot of people. We've made changes. We've moved people around. People are not in the same positions. And I'm not going to go through every single thing that we did, but we've addressed it.
Pearson signed both reports, neither of which mention hair pulling.
Did he give any explanation as to why he gave his signature on that report when it seems like he did not cross-reference it?
He did. We've talked about it.
Can you share any details?
No, not really. Again, these are personnel issues that we've dealt with, and we've made changes to address them.
The department says Pearson was removed as a region commander, but he and Parker retained their rank and are still in positions to look at future use of force incidents.
I think that the public can have confidence in what we do. We admitted that we made mistakes, and I think the public have confidence in me to fix those mistakes, and we've made changes. We've made quite a few changes and improved what we've done. I think the public understands that we're going to do that, and that's what we've done.
Signorino says she doesn't think the supervisors did anything wrong, but Lott's decision-making on the incident derailed her career.
If you're going to name them as at fault, why do they still have job security and I'm struggling to pay my mortgage? You know, why? If they violated policy by, not reporting this incident, the supervisors didn't uphold their duties as a supervisor.
Lott says the department reviewed Oliver's previous reports and found no other discrepancies.
Signorino says both supervisors watched the video because they talked about it with her in the days following. I pressed the department for more information on what the supervisors knew and when, but was told that the sheriff had no further comment. Reporting in Columbia, Chris Joseph, WIS News 10.
All right, our thanks to Chris for that in-depth report. We should note Oliver is charged with third-degree assault and battery. He is also facing a lawsuit in federal court over that incident. Both are still in the early stages. Now, Lott does say that there is a new deputy chief overseeing the internal affairs unit, and the body camera program will now also operate out of internal affairs.